Oh, good morning. It's just after 5:30 in the morning. I'm out here, got my bucket of chicken feed. I'm gonna run off and feed the girls. And I got a bunch of pig feed on the side-by-side. I'm gonna run off to them before I head off to work. Well, I tell you, it is crazy windy out there right now. It's like, I think about +3. It was pretty warm last night actually when I got home, but it wasn't windy at all. Now the wind is just ripping. So I'm gonna go ahead, run this thing out, get the piggies fed, then I'm gonna head to work.
Good morning, piggies. Get your breakfast in ya. It's like good stuff.
Well, I tell you, a side-by-side at 5 a.m. in the cold air is one sure way to wake up and feel very invigorated to start your day. So if you're not doing that, well, I wouldn't say I recommend it. Actually, I don't recommend it. But if you're looking for a thrill ride at 5 a.m., that's the way to go. It's even windier this evening than it was this morning. It's crazy. Like the weather every day is like living out. It's like living out a consequence. You know, it's like making a deal with the devil. You can have warm weather, but it's going to be a 50-mile-an-hour wind to go with it. You can have sunshine, but it's going to be -40. So everything comes at a cost, it seems. I can't really complain. It's fine. I don't have that much to do tonight. I got to prep a little bit of feed for tomorrow. And that's about it, actually. I'm going to mix up some soaked chicken feed. I talked about this the other day. Usually don't feed soaked chicken feed in the wintertime simply because it's cold and it'll just freeze into a clump on the ground before the chickens can really get up and get to it. Because we're usually feeding at 5 o'clock in the morning. And if it doesn't come daylight, the chickens aren't coming outside till like 9 o'clock. So there would just be like a, rock hard chunk of frozen grain on the ground. That wouldn't be fun to snack on. Anyways, yeah, it's supposed to be nice for like 4 or 5 days in a row here, which I'm sure, as I mentioned, will come at the cost of a 40-mile-an-hour wind. But nevertheless, if we can feed some soaked feed outside the coop, we might as well take advantage of that. So right? I'm also mixing up some pig feed. I got 2 different buckets. One's for wet feed, one's for dry feed. It is the exact same feed we get from Bloom Enterprises. It's just one, I soak it up, get it nice and sloppy. And the other one is just dry one. This goes in the bulk feeder so that if they get hungry throughout the day when they don't have that slop in their bowl, they can go there for their snack and they've always got access to feed. So speaking of something that's a lot like wet feed, wet feet, man, oh man, I wasn't sure what was going on with my boots the other day. If I just had some water in there, it wasn't drying up because it was constantly in and out of my boots. Or if I legitimately had a hole in my boots. Well, I left my boots sit in the porch for like 4 days. They were completely dry. I wore them for about, 10 minutes maybe this morning. I come out and did the rounds and did some chores. Come and slip my feet into them here tonight and they're wet. So there's definitely, some snow getting into one of the seams or something like that is melting. And then I've just got wet, miserable feet. So these are the Arctic Sport muck boots. They are a fantastic boot for keeping your feet warm. I will say that undoubtedly when it's -40 out or even, whatever time or whatever temperature, they are fantastic for keeping your feet warm. But they've only lasted, about a year. Not even quite a year, actually, about 11 months. So that's really not good value for money. I think they were $229 for a pair of these boots. So they're not cheap by any means. Anyways, that really is a shame. We live in kind of a throwaway society, but you put in a pile of money so that you get something that not only your feet are warm and they're dry, but that you can use hopefully over multiple seasons. And yeah, it's just like we just live in, like I said, like a landfill society where everything is like a one-time use and then it goes to the dump. I don't even know if they can call these things the Arctic Sport boot. Like they should probably call them like the Arctic Relax. Like I don't even have a very hard job. And yeah, they didn't even last, like I said, 11 months, 4 of which probably didn't even get used at all. They probably sat right there in the corner by the door because I was wearing my leather boots over the summer. Anyways, enough bitching about boots. At least I've got boots to wear. That's a blessing. So I'm gonna leave you there for now. I'm gonna go in, get myself a cup of tea in the house, maybe a chocolate chip cookie. So we'll see you tomorrow.